Today we're going to work on 7.2 as we get to convert between cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. And we get to do it in sort of through, I guess, reading instructions and um, kind of in a way that's more meaningful than just the charts that we did yesterday. So more word problems, okay? I told you one of the reasons why we would be doing this kind of work is one day to take care of yourselves, quite possibly and likely in college by college, maybe by high school, you'll all be cooking for your own selves. Kind of the way it works with people is a lot of times they start their lives by cooking for just one or two people, and then as time goes on and families grow larger, they end up cooking for a larger group. So having these conversions in mind will be helpful. Having these multiplicative conversions in mind will be helpful as well. So that's how it works a lot of times. So working with liquids, cups, pints, quarts, and gallons, as I told you, is a measurement of volume, we call it. So there's one other place where you'll see volume, and quite possibly well, most definitely they're connected. You guys know area is length times width, right? They call that a two-dimensional figure. Two dimensions, the dimensions are length and width. Once you start getting into a three-dimensional figure, for instance, um, I don't have a real great one. I know. Oh, this is a three-dimensional figure, right? Okay. Three dimensions are that there's length and width, and now there's what's called depth, and that's this measure here. And if you ever see like a figure that looks three-dimensional projected on a piece of paper, it's not actually three-dimensional, of course. But like like a cube where you see the surfaces and then the depth to it as well. Volume is so where area is length times width. Volume is length times width times depth. So that's and what it does, it comes up with cubic instead of squares. It comes up with cubic inches. How many cubes are in a figure? Okay. Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. There's a lot of things that we do measure in cubic inches or cubic centimeters or with cubic measurements. So I think they're related. Just this idea of a three-dimensional figure. I think a bottle of water is a three-dimensional figure. So volume is how much of something is in there, basically. So when you see would it be better with the lights off on this one? So you read? Okay, let's do Knox. Okay. So when you see a number story like this, really important. And when you look at your book today on page 232, I mean there's a recipe there. There's some instructions. It's really important to read the instructions and understand the instructions. Um, when you see a number story like this, so I'll go ahead and read it. The Social Studies Club wants to make paper mache globes. You guys just got done making paper mache, but not globes, right? To make the paste, each member will mix 3/4 cup glue and 1/4 cup water. Club has 9 members. They have 1 quart of water. Is there enough water for everyone? There's some things that you kind of got to pick out in order to be effective at this, okay? The first thing that I notice is we're talking about, to start with, cups of water and glue, and then it moves on to quarts, okay? So I know there's going to be a conversion involved in this. Is everybody okay with that? The other thing I'm noticing here as well is, um, and I'll circle this out. Let's see, hopefully, oh yeah, that works well. Um, I'm noticing that it wants, what's being asked is how much water is involved. So how much water is involved? And this idea of glue, the amount of glue. is not really necessary. Is everybody okay with that idea? They're trying to mix you up and try, yeah, they're what we call it is irrelevant details. Relevant details are ones that you need to know. So the relevant details here are that we're looking for cups to quarts conversions, and then we're just looking for the water measurements, okay? And then there's irrelevant details. Adding that prefix IR means like basically means not, right? Almost like non. Yeah, exactly. Synonymous with non. So the irrelevant detail here is how much glue each needs. So I just kind of want to ignore that. Okay, it's okay to cross that off once you identify that. Um, we see very clearly it's mentioned in more than one place. Is there enough water for everyone? Right? Okay. So in order to solve this, what I'm looking for is that each person needs 1/4 cups of water, and we're working with so each person needs 1/4 cup of water, and we're working with this idea that there are 9 members, right? Okay. So I need to find out how much water they're going to use. What would I do to find how much water is being used? Would I add, subtract, multiply, or divide in your opinion? Yes, sir. Tell me why you think we would need to multiply. Okay. Okay, so we're not actually moving from cups to quarts quite yet. Okay, and we do need to multiply. The reason we need to multiply is because each person, think about 9 people having 1/4 cups of water, right? That's 1/4 cups of water 9 times is what it is, right? So there's two ways to do the addition. To me, that takes forever. Or we could do the 1/4 times 9. Okay, and remember another way to look at this is 1/4 times 9 wholes. As we know, when we multiply fractions, we don't multiply those denominators, right? Oh, no, we do. Yes, we do multiply. That's right. So 9 times 1 is 9, and 4 times 1 is 4. We do multiply the denominators. I'm sorry. It's addition. We don't add the denominators. So at this point, we have 9/4 of 9/4 cups of water. Is everybody okay with how I found that out? Okay. We are starting with 1 quart of water. Do I have enough water here? And what's your thought? Yes. What's your thought? Why don't you open your math journals to page 228 right now? Instead of guessing, instead of just wondering if we do or not, let's have some reasoning behind this. Page 228 has that sweet graph with the blue G and oh, sorry, it's just G and P's and Q's and C's, right? Okay. Yes, sir. What's your thought on this? Why not? Why don't you think they have enough? And how many cups does 1 quart equal? Equals 4 cups, right? But wait, how many cups of water are they really using here? How many cups of water are we really using here? What's your thought? Okay, so this 9/4 actually equals 2 1/4 cups. The way you know is because there are two groups of fourths in that nine, right? Yep. Numerator. Yeah. Yeah. So you can take one whole out, which is 4/4. You can take two wholes out, which is 4/4. All of that equals 8/4, right? From there. But you can't take another one out, so there's 1/4 left over. Right? So to this point, we're only needing to use 2 1/4 cup water. If a quart equals 4 cups, do we have enough water here? We do have enough water. We're starting with 4 cups of water. We're only using 2 1/4 cups of water. Okay. Good. I love the light bulb moments. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Hold on. Yes, sir. Hold on with the poppers, please. We're recording here and we're trying to listen. So listening is really key right now. Would you say that again? Because that was a really great statement there. Nice and loud. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. 4 people take 1 cup. Uh, another 4 people take 1 cup. And then there's just one person that takes 1/4 of a cup. So we'll have water left over, right? Good. Is everybody okay with that comparison there? Is everybody okay understanding that we've got to take and recognize the relevant and irrelevant details here? Okay. And it's okay to cross out the irrelevant details. Okay. You're going to work on page 231 through 233. Now listen carefully. I don't know why everyday math does this. Sometimes your math boxes will be at the end of the lesson, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's the last page that I assign. For whatever reason, everyday math has switched that up. Don't start right now on page 231. Start on page 232, do 233, and then move to 231. You should have already started on 231, but make that your last priority today, okay? And then, yes, you can work into Khan Academy division or fractions when you're done.